Let's jump to our first story from Not the Bee. 14 GOP senators just voted to limit your right to keep and bear arms, including Lindsey Graham, who said he would vigorously oppose the bill. Well, if you trust Lindsey Graham, you've got other issues going on, okay? So that's basically the story. The Senate on Tuesday broke through nearly 30 years of stalemate on gun control legislation by voting 64-34 to advance an 80-page gun safety bill to respond to the mass shootings of Buffalo and Uvalde that left 31 people dead. The Senate voted to proceed to the bill just more than an hour after negotiators unveiled its text, giving lawmakers little time to digest its details. So the bill is actually quite absurd. I was reading that it doesn't mention guns until like page 25. It's mostly like a whole bunch of weird Medicaid bloat that they couldn't get through anywhere else. And they were like, gun control. And they just jammed a bunch of trash into it. But yeah, the bill is actually really bad. You've got the Republican senator from West Virginia, Shelley Moore Capito, who's voting in favor of it, which is nuts. But surprise, surprise, the GOP is selling you out. There's crisis intervention, not red flag laws, crisis intervention, which is literally the same thing. They want a 10-day waiting period and juvenile check for all background checks for anyone under 21, which basically means from 18 to 21 as a legal adult, you will have like a 10-day waiting period, which is what they've been trying to do for a long time. I'm not going to sit here and say that they're trying to ban guns outright, but this is the game they play. They introduce a crazy bill and say, we want to ban weapons. We want to raise the age to 21. Everyone loses their mind and they go, okay, fine. Just enhanced background checks for people over 18, but under 21. That's acceptable, right? And my attitude is like, no, what's acceptable would be the Republicans change what they did. And I think it was Pennsylvania. They took the bill and they just erased all the text and put in constitutional carry instead. How about that? How about the Republicans actually stand up for our right to keep and bear arms? But
makes me wonder, like, if a shooter appears that has an illegally acquired gun and does a mass shooting, like, are they going to then try and make it harder for people to get weapons again? Like, yes. This is complete insanity.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, there are so many laws on the books that would have prevented virtually all of the mass shootings that have become big news stories, but that hasn't prevented them from trying to solve the problem by introducing more laws. And to go back to your point, Tim, I disagree. I mean, I do think they're trying to ban all guns. I think they know that change occurs incrementally. And every time you point out, saying, okay, yeah. And so every time you point out that you know that, they go, that's the slippery slope fallacy, which is not, of course, as we have seen, not a fallacy. The slippery slope fallacy is a fallacy if you're saying you should only be against this because it could lead to other things. But if you're able to explain why it will, based on a pattern we've seen in the past of incremental change constantly occurring where the left says it won't, then that's not fallacious. That's just pattern recognition.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so we all agree then. I think that's a wrap for tonight. Good show.
Time for the after show. Let's get dirty.